round 6 tips. So I got 5 out of 9, which isn't too bad. Most of the favourites right. Now, the Brisbane Collingwood game, I was off by 10 goals. Collingwood played a superb game of football, and I forgot about their record at the Gabba for the past 5 or so years. So I misjudged that again, and I keep underestimating Collingwood, but I will be tipping them this week coming up. North Melbourne, I tipped Carlton, which I got it correct. North Melbourne, they're in a massive hole, and they'll probably only win another couple games more. West Coast almost pulled up the upset. It was an upset, but I wouldn't really count it as a massive upset. Essendon, they've been playing okay football, and then we just got over the line. The Fremantle one, I tipped, and I got that incorrect. Melbourne finally get a win, and Melbourne still have a lot of talent on their side. They just haven't capitalised their opportunities, and they've been all in pretty poor form. Maybe this might be the Kickstarter. We'll see. So the Adelaide GWS game, I got correct, which I tipped Adelaide. It was definitely a terrible game, but it was very slippery at the Adelaide Oval, so you can understand why the game was low scoring and plenty of bombs inside the forward 50 with their kicking, and just didn't work too well for both sides. The next game was a massive shock at the undefeated Suns took on Richmond, and I couldn't believe my eyes when I watched this game. Gold Coast, they had a couple chances to win it at the end, but then they didn't take the chances, and Richmond played really, really well. Now, the Noah Bolter situation was he shouldn't be playing and he should be in prison, but that's for another video. Alright, the next game is Sydney versus Port Adelaide. Now, I watched half of this game before I fell asleep. Embarrassing. Port were on early and it never looked back. The next game, Western Bulldogs versus St Kilda. Now, I didn't watch this game at all because I fell asleep, but Bulldogs just looked like they dominated, and Bont is back and he's in my Supercoach team. And unfortunately, Sam Darcy will be out for 3 to 4 months, but the best news is he's not done his ACL, so that's awesome news. Even if he doesn't come back for the next, for the rest of the season, at least it's not an ACL, and that could take 12 to 18 months. So thank goodness for that. It's no good seeing any player get injured, that's for sure. And the next game is the Easter Monday clash, and I watched it from home. Geelong dominated early, and then Hawthorn, they missed a lot of their opportunities in front of goal and were lucky to win that game. And a few dodgy decisions both ways. Like, if you take a mark, apparently you can just punch it, which is, I just don't understand. But anyways, so at least I got my 5 out of 9 tips. At one stage, it was looking very grim. Alright, so my round 8 tips. No, it's not round 8, it's round 7. Technically round 8 if you count not the other round, the other round, opening round. Alright, this game, 17th versus 15th. Now, Melbourne versus Richmond. Melbourne are back on form after their win. I wouldn't say form, but they finally get a win. Richmond have won 2 games. If they win this, it'd be 3 in about 6 weeks or something like that, which is crazy. At one stage, they weren't even going to win a game, experts are saying. But I am going an upset here. I am tipping Richmond to win by 5 points in an absolute thriller. Sam Layla is going to do his thing. It's going to be a very good game. Well, it's going to be I don't know if it's going to be a good game, but it's going to be, I guess, high intensity, and I reckon Cozzy Pickett's going to kick 6 in a losing game. Alright, we've got the Anzac Day clash. We have 2 Anzac Day clashes. Not a fan. Just stick it to Collingwood and Essendon. Now, Collingwood are the best team in the competition right now. Sucks to say it as a Cats fan. And Essendon are cruising, okay-ish. But I don't know, it's going to be a close game. both sides, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Most of the time, it is fairly close even. There's a few smashings, but I reckon this is going to be a lot closer than what people are saying. I'm tipping Collingwood, though, as a safe option, just in case. Collingwood are going to win by, I reckon about 3 goals. And best on ground, I can't remember the exact actual medal they're playing for. Top of my head, my brain's not working, but I will be saying that safe option is Nick Dacos. Jordan De Goey, he will be best on ground with 27 touches and 3 goals is my prediction. Alright, so the other Anzac Day clash is Fremantle versus Adelaide. Now, it's going to be a fairly even contest here. It's going to be low scoring, probably. It'll be like high 60s, early 70s scores. Fremantle have a good defence and Adelaide have a good forward line. It's going to be obviously the battle of the midfields, Caleb Sarong, and then you've obviously got a few other players I can't remember. Jake Saligo, that's all I remember off the top of my head. My brain's not working, but I'm tipping Fremantle at home to win by 15 points and Shea Bolton to kick 3 goals. Now we've got the Saturday game, St Kilda versus Brisbane. St Kilda had a pathetic effort on the weekend and Brisbane came off an absolute thumping, and I reckon they'll bounce back, but I'm tipping in an upset here, St Kilda to win by 11 points. It's going to be a close game under the Marvel Stadium at 120. I feel like St Kilda are going to bounce back here. Next game is Port Adelaide versus Melbourne. Now, Port Adelaide versus Melbourne. Port Adelaide versus North Melbourne. That's what I meant. Last time North Melbourne, they lost by 6 goals against Adelaide in round 1, I believe. And Port Adelaide, I mean, they've come off back-to-back wins. A good win against Sydney and a good win against Hawthorn. I'm backing in Port Adelaide, obviously. And they're going to win by 111 points against North. Next game is GWS versus the Western Bulldogs at Manuka Oval. Manuka. Honestly, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's going to be a good game. Bontempelli is back to his absolute best after his injury, and Giants. Hopefully, it's going to be a good weather for both sides because low-scoring games can be interesting, but I prefer high-scoring games. So I am tipping the Western Bulldogs to beat GWS Giants, and Marcus Bontempelli is going to kick 3 goals. He's going to have 36 disposals. So the next game is Gold Coast versus Sydney. Now, Gold Coast, they had an embarrassing loss against Richmond, and Sydney had an embarrassing loss against Port Adelaide. I wouldn't say embarrassing. Port Adelaide, good side. Richmond are a rebuilding side. So with that being said, Gold Coast have good mids. So do Sydney, but they're out of form, and I'm tipping Gold Coast to win by, I will say, 22 points. Geelong versus Carlton at the MCG, or Carlton versus Geelong. Now, it's going to be a good game. I don't know. I really want to tip Geelong, but I have a feeling Carlton will get it out of their midfield quite easily a little bit. Our midfield is quite young, and so is Carlton's, but ours is less experienced than theirs. So obviously, I mean, Tom Atkins, he's experience-wise. I'm gonna tip Geelong, but Brian Myers is a huge loss. So I just don't know who can replace him. Jai Clark could potentially replace him. I mean, Ollie Wiltshire. I'm not sure about Jack Martin. I think he's still injured, unfortunately. So I'm hoping he's right. And I'm just hoping Geelong don't rush Brian Myers back into the side in 2 weeks' time because, you know, with their head knocks and things like that. But Carlton, they're going to be on fire. I mean, they've won the last 2 games with an average of like over a 70 easily. But they've played against 2 of the weaker sides in the competition. But it's going to be a big test for both sides. And I think Geelong are just going to stand up. And it's Geelong to win by 3 points in an absolute thriller. It's going to be a close all game and just comes down to the last 25 seconds. Hope not for my heart, but 25 seconds. Hawthorn versus West Coast Eagles at Marvel. Now, it's going to be interesting to see who will win. I think, obviously, don't know why it's at Marvel, to be honest. But, I mean, it is what it is. I think Hawthorn are going to win by 45 points. It's going to be a close game, but, I mean, I wouldn't say close game, but Hawthorn just going to miss out on some of their opportunities early, and then they will just storm out late and win by about 45 points. Now, that's my prediction. Subscribe to the channel. Plenty more content coming your way. And yeah, hope you enjoyed. Peace.